Let's take you now to another part of the country where members of the economic freedom fighters are expected to protest at various border posts between South Africa and Eswatini this morning. It's all part of the party's efforts to put pressure on the government of Eswatini to implement democratic reforms. Political parties remain banned in the neighboring kingdom, with King Mswati III exercising absolute control over the country and its citizens. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli Masilela is following the story for us and joins us live from the Oshoek border post. Mweli, very good morning to you. What can we expect today, and when can we expect this protest to get underway?
Good morning, Mpho. Yes, indeed, we are expecting members of the economic freedom fighters to stage a protest, not only here at the Oshoek border post where we are now, but there are some protests that are going to take place in other border posts, which include Chapis Reef, Mananga border post, as well as Kolela on the KwaZulu-Natal side. And the aim of this protest, Mpho, is to try and put pressure on the government of Eswatini to democratize. As you have rightly put it, political parties remain banned in the kingdom of Eswatini. And last year in July we saw some protests by citizens of the kingdom of Eswatini whereby many people lost their lives. And the EFF leader Julius Malema has been very clear on the position of the party in as far as the Eswatini question is concerned. So let's now speak to Sinawo Thambo, who is the spokesperson of the economic freedom fighters. Yet another protest. This is not the first time. How much of a difference do you think this protest today is going to make?
You know, to remove an oppressive regime takes continued effort and pressure. So the economic freedom fighters is here to support our brothers and sisters in Eswatini to ensure that the despotic monarchy led by Mswati is removed, which is undemocratic and suppresses the political rights of the people of Eswatini, monopolizes the wealth to his kingdom, to his children, to his wives. So we are here to apply that continued pressure, because there's never enough pressure that can be applied to the removal of a dictator. So we are calling for democratization of the political system in Eswatini. We are calling for an equal redistribution of the wealth of Eswatini to the people of Eswatini, so that they can be able to live lives of dignity in which they are able to determine the political and economic trajectory of their country. So we're here in Mpumalanga on two border posts in Matsamo and Mananga, and in Pongola and KwaZulu-Natal, where our Secretary General will be leading proceedings that side. And we're going to ensure that Mswati feels our presence. We are told it is his birthday, so we want to send a categorical message that we do not celebrate the life of a murderer. We don't celebrate the life of someone who doesn't allow his citizens to practice their political rights freely. And we're sending him that message today.
We understand that other pro-democratic groups from the kingdom of Eswatini will also join this protest. Are you having engagements with them? Because we're expecting that there will be a dialogue as per the communication by leaders in the SADC organization. Is there any update in as far as that is concerned? And we know also that there are some members of parliament in Eswatini that are still in jail. How far is that process of ensuring that maybe those are released as per some of the calls from pro-democratic groups?
Look, the economic freedom fighters has a representation in Eswatini. So there's an economic freedom fighters of Eswatini, which has been at the forefront of the struggle to democratize the kingdom in itself. And we've had engagements with our comrades that side who've been leading that struggle. We've been having continuous engagements with Pudemo, a long-living organization which has been fighting against the monarchy that side. So we are having those engagements on the ground because we have come to a realization that SADC is toothless to be able to take on this monarchy and the rule of Mswati. It has been unable to intervene meaningfully in changing the lives of the people of Eswatini. And we are even seeing members of SADC opting to join the Eastern Community of Nations in terms of being able to trade and integrate trade in that regard in those countries. So SADC has been unable to show resolve to ensure that there's democratization happening in Eswatini and stability in the SADC region. There's a crisis in Mozambique, there's a crisis in Zimbabwe, which has been ongoing. So SADC is not a reliable organ to be able to stabilize the conditions in Eswatini. And it is only through revolt and continuous pressure by organizations within Eswatini, organizations on the frontline states around Eswatini, such as South Africa, and of course international pressure to ensure that the nation itself is democratized, because one cannot claim that there is a regime to even be changed in Eswatini, because a regime is constituted by a system of governance, and there isn't such in Eswatini. There's one man who rules with an iron fist like a tin pot dictator. So we are going to continue applying pressure, because the only way now which is left is grassroots organization and then onslaught onto that dictatorship which is ongoing there.
How do you then respond to some people who are saying that, well, South Africa has got its own problems? Why is the EFF interfering in the affairs of another country?
The problems of South Africa, the problems of Eswatini, the problems of Mozambique, the problems of Nigeria. So to locate South Africa outside of the continental problems confronting us as a people, when we share a history of colonialism, a history of conquest, is naive and stupid, and means that we'll never emerge from the conditions that face us now. We were all dispossessed by colonial conquest. We were all made slaves. We were all subjected to slave labor. Our mineral wealth continues to be extracted. We'll continue to be a junior in the global affairs, economically, politically, and otherwise. So it needs continental unity and a realization that the problems confronting us are common as African people, and it's only through a common unity and common purpose that we can achieve true liberation economically, politically. So we are with the people of Eswatini because it is inevitable that what is confronting them may confront us in South Africa. It has confronted us before, and we must be able to pledge solidarity to those people there who held us and assisted us during the struggle against apartheid as well, kept our people alive, kept us in their camps, and we must be able to reciprocate that Africanness and that African unity to ensure that we wage a principled Pan-African struggle going forward.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us, Mpo. That is Sinawo Thambo. He is the spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters as well, saying that they are here to make sure that they put pressure on the government of Eswatini. And